welcome back to Biblically Blonde. In this video, I'm going to go over my review of 80 Day Obsession and tell you what I've been up to this summer. So keep watching. Alrighty y'all, welcome back. I'm so excited to make this video. When I started 80 Day Obsession in June, I had this video in mind and I couldn't wait to actually share my experience and go through everything. So before we get started, whether you're a subscriber or not, let me just be very clear and upfront. I am not a Beachbody coach. I have no affiliation with Beachbody. I literally have nothing to do with them besides the fact that I bought BeachBody OnDemand. I don't own any of the products like Shakeology or any of their workout gear. All the workout stuff that I bought for 80 Day Obsession, I bought off Amazon. It's not even Beachbody logo or anything. And I don't even have a coach. I'm not on any teams, nothing. So this is an honest review from someone who just wanted to do one of the workout programs. And so I hope that helps in wanting to know if you should do it or not, because I know a lot of the times with the marketing and the, I think, what are they called? The MLMs or whatever, that things get a little skewed and you don't know if this is a real review or someone just trying to like influence you and sell you a product. And so you can know with me, literally no affiliation with them, just someone who bought on demand and wants to share her experience. Alrighty, so to get started, before I go into my review, I just want to say that this summer of 2020 has just been really life-changing for me. If you follow me or not, I had a miscarriage in May of 2020. And at the time of my miscarriage, I was one of the heavier weights I've been. I started my weight loss journey for this time, I should say. My weight's been up and down my whole life. But I started it in January. I lost about 15 pounds from January to March. I got pregnant in March and it really wasn't my focus. I was just very elated and happy it was my first pregnancy. And so weight loss wasn't really on my mind. I didn't really go up or down while I was pregnant. Like I said, wasn't something I was focusing on. And then unfortunately, I did suffer the miscarriage. And so I spent about a month just physically healing from that, deciding, okay, what was the next step for me? And through doctor's recommendation and my own physical and spiritual healing, we decided not to immediately start trying for another baby. I was going to take 3 to 4 months and just really heal spiritually, heal emotionally, and heal physically. And so that's where I came to the 80 Day Obsession kind of thing. So 2020, you know, COVID's going on, and prior to COVID, I had a gym membership because I was on my weight loss journey. And I love the gym. I've always, like I said, my weight's been up and down. I've been 100 pounds and I've been 180 pounds. I've been the whole spectrum my whole life, just up and down. And most of the time I go to the gym. I've just always been a gym goer. I don't really like at-home workouts, or I hadn't up until that point. And with COVID and everything and being pregnant, I just knew gyms were not for me. I didn't feel comfortable, and honestly, I'm not really that comfortable with even going back now. I just don't see myself going back to a gym for a long time. And so I wanted something that I could be physically active in. Now, along with that, I wanted something that I could actually challenge myself on. It was really important to me that I had something that was a summer-long program that I could check off every day, that I could give my focus to. You know, like I said, I was trying to heal physically, spiritually, and emotionally from the miscarriage. And so for me, it was really important that I had something to focus on every single day. And so I looked at BeachBody OnDemand and I saw this 80 Day Obsession. And I thought, you know what, I did some research, I looked into it, I watched a whole bunch of YouTube videos on what you needed and whether or not it was worth it. And so I decided to go ahead and give it a try. And so what I did was I went to On Demand, BeachBody OnDemand, which I have Hulu's, or I have I have Roku, and so I just have the app on the Roku and I watch it in my living room on my TV. And I believe there's different. I only bought the 3 months because I didn't know if I would even like it. So I bought the 3 months worth, which I believe was $39.99. And I said, all right, there was no commitment. I would cancel it at the end of 3 months, at the end of 80 days if I didn't like it, or I would renew it if I did. And so I was skin in the game. I did buy the supplies, which I'll go over later. You do need a few things, but that was basically my journey in deciding to do this. I wanted something during the summer to be able to say I checked off, to keep my focus on. I also did, side note, run during the summer. That was my own personal journey. I've always wanted to run. It's one of my dreams to be a runner. And so while I did 80 day, some of the days if I wasn't going to work or if I had a day off, like on a Saturday or random day, I would go and run, but it wasn't like a part of my program. Okay, so now that I kind of talked about why I decided to do it, I want to tell you what it is before I do a review and what you need. So if you're unsure of what 80 Day Obsession is, it is a workout program through Beachbody that actually is a little bit longer than 80 days because you have Sundays off. So it is a 80-day workout program. The workouts are about an hour long. Sometimes they're a little shorter at 40 minutes, but none go over an hour. It's through on-demand, so it's an at-home workout, and it's through Autumn Calabrese. There is a nutritional aspect of it. I personally only followed the nutrition the second half of the program, and I didn't even follow that nutrition. I followed my own personal nutrition guide, so I wouldn't even say that I followed Autumn's, but Autumn does have hers. But I didn't follow any sort of diet the first half. The second half, I followed a clean eating diet that I just decided myself I would eat clean. So I didn't follow that aspect, but there is a time nutrition aspect to it if you would like, and that is available if you do purchase BeachBody OnDemand. The workouts are all different. There's 3 phases, and each phase lasts 4 weeks, and then you have peak week at the end. It all totals up to 80 days. You have Sundays off, which is perfect for me because I do believe in taking the Sabbath day, the rest day, and so it worked wonders. Monday through Saturday, I worked out, I got my workouts in, and then I rested on Sunday. The workouts are all different, even in the phases, and so each phase has different sets. So the first week you do each workout 15 reps, and then you repeat it one more time over. The second week you do each workout 10 times by 3 or 3 by 10. The third week it's different, and then the fourth week it's different. So you are repeating the same moves for each phase, but the way you do it is different, so you don't plateau and it just keeps you guessing. I love the fact that every workout is filmed live. There are no repeat workouts. Every single workout is different. So that kind of is basically what 80 Day Obsession is. It is a more advanced level, but there is a modifier. So there were times where I did use the modifier, and then there were times that I didn't. What you do need for 80 Day Obsession is sliders. So I bought these off Amazon. You can use them on carpet or hardwood, and you just get 2 of them. And honestly, I'm really glad I bought these. I'll use these even when I'm not doing 80 Day Obsession. So this was a really good buy, and I think these were only like $12 or $15 at most, so not very expensive. You also need a set of resistance bands or resistant loops, whatever you call them, in 3 different sizes, so small, medium, large, or heavy, light, medium, whatever you want to call them. You can pick these up anywhere. Beachbody does sell them on their website, but honestly, I bought these off Amazon. I bought these off Amazon. So none of these equipment, if you're unsure about Beachbody, you have to purchase from Beachbody. So yeah, I have these, and then the last thing you need is sets of 3 weights. So I have a light, medium, and heavy set of dumbbells, and honestly, I didn't buy any new ones. I had already owned those. My husband had a pair, and then I had 2 others that I collected over the years, because right now I know with COVID and everything, like, you can't find them anywhere. So if you happen to have them laying around your house, that's awesome. If not, honestly, you could probably do it with just 1 pair or 2 pair, but it is really nice to have the 3 to be able to see your progress, and different moves require different weights, obviously. If you'd like, I do recommend a mat because you are going to be doing a lot of work like on the ground. So I definitely used a mat, and I used a towel a lot, but you don't have to have them, but you definitely have to have the sliders, the bands, and the weights. Okay, so now that I told you kind of what 80 Day Obsession is, I want to tell you a little bit about my review of it and if I'd recommend it. And you can probably guess with how excited I am that I definitely did like it. To get kind of the basics out, I did lose 10 pounds, which I'm really happy with. No, it wasn't this crazy number. I know some people do it and they lose like 30, 40 pounds. But for me, like, it's sustainable weight, and it's not going to just come back on. So throughout, and I think I didn't even do a nutrition plan the first half. So like I literally just focused on getting the workout done every single day because I was dealing with a lot of grief and just like going back to work from being off with quarantine and everything. So the first half I just made sure I did the workout. Then the second half, I incorporated just clean eating, no processed food, no dessert, no sugar, things like that. Just something I created on my own. I didn't count calories. And that's where I really lost the weight, I would say, is because I did hone in my eating, obviously. But 10 pounds over 80 days, actually a little bit longer because you have Sundays off, obviously, but I'm really, really happy with that. I lost a lot of inches. I went down 3 pant sizes, which was just awesome. That to me means more than the weight. Like, I have jeans in my closet from when I was at my skinniest, and I will not throw them away because I want to be back in them so badly, and one day I will be. A couple pairs of jeans I'm back in. I'm not in my goal pair yet, but I know I will be eventually. But it was just amazing to, lose those 3 sizes, and slowly more and more of my old clothes are fitting me. Because I don't know if y'all experience this, but there is nothing more depressing than when you have a closet full of clothes that don't fit you. It's just like the worst feeling in the world. And so I loved the fact that every week my clothes just fit me, and I could open up, oh, this blouse fits me now, oh, these jeans fit me now. I mean, it was just like the best feeling in the world. And then when I weighed myself at the very end and I saw that I lost 10 pounds, it was just really awesome. And now that we went over my results, I guess you could say, I'll go over actually like my review of it. So overall, I loved the program. Overall, I would recommend it to anyone. I think it is not only a great physical workout, it gets you in great shape. It's just a great challenge. Every single day, I had to make sure that I checked this off. I had to make sure that I got my workout in. And I loved that aspect of it, that mental aspect of I'm going to do this. I know when we get into adulthood, if you don't have a really challenging job, like I'm just a server, so I don't have that challenging of a life. I'm a wife and I'm a server, and I do this for fun. So it's like, if I wanted to, honestly, there would be nothing that challenges my mind. And so the fact that I'm challenging my body and my mind by doing this was just awesome. And I could say, like, I can do hard things. Autumn Calabrese says that all the time. You are capable. You can do hard things. And that was my motto the whole time, especially these workouts are not easy. I will say that. They are hard. Some of the workouts are easier than others, but I was challenged every single time. The cardio flow one is really challenging, especially like I was not in great shape when I started. I had just come off of a pregnancy loss. I was at one of the highest weights I'd ever been in my life, and I just wasn't in a great shape. I really struggled and I modified a lot, but it wasn't so hard that I couldn't do it. But it was hard enough that it challenged me and I was sore and I could tell that it was working. And so it was a good mix. It wasn't too hard, but it was difficult. It challenged. I also really loved the cast. Sometimes in home workout videos, the cast around you makes or breaks it. And you get to know every single person. You get to know Donald, you get to know Jasmine, you get to know Richardson and Carrie and a couple others. And it was just awesome because every single workout is different. You follow them along on their journey and you get to know them. And I loved that. I loved the inside jokes. I loved the pineapple jokes. Like, it's something you're doing every single day. It got to the point where I felt like I knew Autumn. Like, I know I was watching a video that was filmed like 2 years ago and she had no idea of the journey I was on. But because you're spending an hour a day with these people, you feel like you know them. Like, you feel like, oh man, I can't wait to see what Donald's doing today. Like, you just look forward to pressing play on that button to see what they're doing because you talk throughout the workout and they talk about their struggles and, you talk about how hard this move is. And Autumn is really great in the fact that I really like her coaching style. She's very to the point. She does not make excuses. She says, you will do this. You're going to finish each rep. But then she's also encouraging. I love, she always talked about it's not about the scale, it's about finishing it. And that to me was everything to me. It was about finishing it. It was about proving to myself that I can do something and I'm capable of this. I can do hard things. And I loved that coaching style of hers. She wasn't too hard. She was sympathetic. I could feel that if she knew my story of my miscarriage and my up and down, like just all my weight struggles my whole life, and just feeling like I could never be the pretty girl and all of that. I feel like if she knew my story, she would care, but also hold me accountable. And that's why I really, really enjoyed the program. I looked forward to doing the workout every single day. So I definitely recommend this program. I can't speak highly enough for it. I think it will be life-changing. I prayed about it every single day. I asked God that I would not miss a day, and I didn't. I did the whole thing straight in 80 days, or 93 days, I should say, because you get Sundays off. But I did it all in 3 months. I started mid-June and I ended in mid-September. And it was just, once again, one of the greatest experiences I've ever had. I cried at the end on day 80. I literally was like, I can't believe this is over. I can't believe I finished this. It was wonderful. A very good experience. The workouts are hard, but you can do them. Finally, I do want to say there are some things I didn't necessarily like. I know you're probably thinking, okay, she's way too positive about this. But there were some things that I didn't necessarily love, but you just have to get over it. While I did love Autumn's coaching style overall, there were some things I didn't necessarily like. Sometimes I felt like she could talk a little bit too much about herself when you're doing the moves. You'll kind of roll your eyes at her and be like, okay, Autumn, you're perfect, because she'll talk about, her success a lot and whatnot. But I feel like, honestly, to be as fit as she is and to be what she is, a physical trainer and all of that, you almost have to be cocky and conceited a little bit for that. It wasn't too much that it turned me off. It wasn't too much that I was like, I don't want to do it. But I would say, if I was being really critiquey, that she might want to tone that down a little bit, because I can see someone really being turned off by it and being like, why would I want to watch her? She talks too much about herself. I will also say there's a lot of jumping, specifically in phase 3. So I had to modify a little bit. I did do some of the jumping, but I'm 30 years old. I can't exactly be jumping around all the time. Sometimes I would jump and almost not land correctly. So I know as you get older in age, jumping's just not on the cards for us. So definitely a negative on that. I wish that they could incorporate a little bit more without the plyo in there and not as heavy of movements. One great thing is the modifier is there to show you all of the moves without the jumping. And so that is there. Like I said, sometimes I did it, sometimes I didn't, but that is something to know going into it, that there is jumping involved in a lot of it. I will also say that the middle phase 2 is by far the hardest for me, especially mentally. When you commit to this, it will get hard. It was not easy. It was not like every day was just like, oh great, I did it. It was awesome every day to check it off, but especially in that phase 2, when you're right dab in the middle and you're like, I have 50 days more to go. This is a long journey. This isn't just some quick 21-day fix. This is long. This is a summer-long 3-month thing. That gets really hard, especially because phase 2 weren't my favorite workouts. I think phase 2 is the hardest of the workouts to do. So you almost dread doing them because you're going to be so sore, and they're just really challenging. And then at the same time, you're thinking to yourself, wow, I have so much longer to go. So it's more of a mental break, but just be prepared for that going in, that you will have some times where you have to force yourself to do it, and phase 2 isn't the most enjoyable. I think if you go into that knowing it can really help you out. I didn't know that phase 2 was going to be kind of that hard and struggle as much. I pushed through, but it took a lot of prayer and a lot of self-determination. Alrighty, so that was my review of 80 Day Obsession. I had a few things that weren't my favorite, but overall I rave and applaud this program. I loved it. I didn't plateau at all. I saw great results. I loved the cash journey. Richardson was my favorite. Autumn was so hard on him. He was like always sweating, and I was like, leave Richardson alone. Some of us sweat. It was honestly just a wonderful journey for me. I did it at the right time in my life. I needed something to focus on. I needed something to help me heal from my loss, and this was just perfect for me. I cannot thank Autumn enough for this program. Once again, like I said in the beginning, am not affiliated with BeachBody. I don't plan on ever being affiliated with BeachBody. It's just not my thing. I'm not a seller. I'm not a coach. I'm nothing like that. I would do 80-Day Obsession again. I definitely am for the program. I think the workouts are great. Obviously, I lost 10 pounds, and what it did for me mentally, it showed me that I can do hard things. I can complete things, and it just made 2020 that was so hard, from everything personally to everything going on in the world, from June to September. It made it so much better for me. I had something to focus on. I had something to help me heal, and I cannot thank Autumn and Beachbody enough for that. So I rave about the program. I encourage you, if you're in that place in your life where you want something to check off every day, you want something about a little over 90 days to just focus on and change your life forever, I recommend doing it. It is hard, it is challenging. Sometimes you have to push through and do it no matter what. But it's worth it. It is so worth it. And so I really encourage y'all, if you want to do it, to try it out. You will not regret it. And I don't know if I'm going to do it again anytime soon. Right now I'm just doing some running and my own workouts, but I definitely loved the journey that it took me on. Alrighty y'all, I loved talking about this with you. I'll see you next time on Biblically Blonde. Bye!